live. Hello, everybody. It is excellent to see you. This is the second episode of Two of These People Are Lying, because two of these people will be. If you're wondering why that name sounds a little bit familiar, that's because this game show format is 100% ripped off of the Tom Scott channel. The technical difficulties have done this format for quite some time. They've given up on the format and left it, and I'm an absolute addict who needed more. And as they weren't making it, I thought, fuck it, do it myself. So we are cracking on. I'd like to introduce, thank you very much for the Prime. Oh, it's you, Lizza. I was about to do the whole reel and then I was like, oh, it's you.
Just me.
Right, let's go around. Quick intros for... Yes, hello. Oh my god, are you guys... Oh, there's actually a hype train going because you two both resubscribed at the same moment. Jeez,
no, we need one more person to gift a sub, gift, or use bits.
Yeah.
To start a hype train.
To start a full hype train. Well, we do like those itty bitties, and we do have the blurp extension as well, so people to play sound alerts. It's annoying I can't share that with you, because otherwise I 1000% would. So that you could hear the sound alerts that I'm getting them at the same time. Because it's so funny when that happens during the stream. Quick intro for everybody that is here. I know that most of you have probably seen us in a few other bits and bobs, but for a couple of you that are new, hello, and I'm sorry in advance. I am Zach. I am hosting today's session. Directly below me is Lewis, who
hello.
At Malakath Grim. Over to that side of me there, we have Rob, who is trying to squeeze out a difficult shit, I think.
No, so much fucking pain right now.
Oh, your leg's playing up.
No, I was, you know when you unfurl a sock and you just do it like that? Right in the plums.
Oh!
And it was a tap.
That is a perfect
Good
intro
job.
for Rob. Rob is Rob, at Bobby Oli. And then just down horizontally... Oh, Rob's bollocks.
Sorry.
We have Lizza, who directly beneath Rob and next to Lewis, at Geeky Girl. We keep doing this. Geek Girl. At Geek Girl Lizza. I've known Lizza for quite a while now and still call her Geeky Girl Lizza. I don't know why my brain defaults to that.
It's very common, and I've legit contemplated changing it to Geeky everywhere because...
Oh dear. But yes, we're going to be playing, they're going to be taking part, and I reckon I should probably give you a quick idea of the rules. In this game, each of our participants here has chosen 3 Wikipedia articles. They have read them thoroughly, I hope, and I have the list of all of the articles. From this list, I shall choose one of the names. I will then read it aloud to them.
We're meant to read them?
I will...
I'm
for a second, then. I'm too gullible.
Wait. What? Saying we're supposed to read them?
Oh, no. Fuck off, Lewis. Fool
Okay.
me once. Fool me once.
Yes, fooling you.
Totally.
Oh, no. Oh, this has already started. So, the mind games that these reprobates are going to play, as they have to try and convince me that the article that I have read out is their article. Only one of them will be telling the truth. The other 2 will be lying. And, first article. I've got a nice little random generator here that rolls it round. It's quite funny. It looks like a little bit like a casino machine.
Is it a tombola machine?
Yeah,
it's
a tombola
take it in
machine.
turns to convince you, or is it all?
To explain how this works, I will come to you one by one, and I will say, Rob, blah, 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 blah. What is this? And whilst you're talking, you can all interrupt each other as much as you like, either to make in a comment to try and make theirs sound worse. You can play a trick on me and try and back up each other, which is even more irritating. Or just make in funny comments, whatever you like. Whilst we discuss it. Now we'll come one by one to each of you to see...
Nipplefish.
And at the end, I also will, for everybody at home, I will run polls so you can vote in those polls to see who you think is telling the truth. And the first... Okay, I don't even fully know. The Jeziel rifle? The Jeziel rifle. Do you know what? I'm gonna put this in the chat, and I'm gonna give you the spelling now, and I want you to pronounce this word for me. And let me just put it in. It is Jezail rifle.
Giselle.
That's you. Oh, right. So you think it's Giselle?
I believe so.
Or if you based on it, if you want to go off that, it can also be Hassan.
So, Rob, it's Jezzail, did you say?
I think so.
Okay, Lissa, how do I pronounce that?
Sorry, I've got a cat trying to get attention. It's Giselle.
Giselle. And
however, it does have like an Arabic sound.
Ooh.
Hassan.
Sounding.
Yeah. Nice. And I've already just seen Lewis's response. Do you know what? Because you spoke up first, Rob. Rob, I'm going to come to you first. What is this?
Great. I believe a Giselle rifle is like a type of musket.
Ooh.
But it's like very fancy looking. I believe it is Arabic in origin, maybe East Asian or something like that, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's like got a very thin barrel on it, but it's got like the most awkward looking stock in it, if something like that.
Very thin, so it's a long rifle, yeah. What
I think
sort of
so.
did you catch a time for like a time period that this is from?
No idea.
No idea at all. What else did you
It
find?
was used in the first and second Anglo-Afghan wars.
Oh, really? This is what you're saying it is. So yeah, what is this rifle then? I'm actually going to come over to Lisa here because as you've volunteered yourself, what is this rifle? Yeah.
So it is kind of like a musket. So it's made in parts of the Middle East, and they're generally handmade. And it was used during this time during those wars against one another.
Does it say sort of who made it? Any particular sort of nation, faction type of, what was it made?
It was most popular among Pashtun tribesmen.
Pashtun tribesmen.
Who then decided to basically, when other countries like Europe started visiting places like Arabia, which it was called back then, like Spain especially, they picked them up and eventually they were developed and shrunk down into what is commonly called the Kentucky rifle.
The Kentucky rifle. Okay, so your article goes, hold on, wait, you're all riffing on each other and I'm confused. So, Rob.
They were also ridiculously large caliber. I will say that. They're scary big.
Oh yeah, they're fucking massive things.
Like 50 to 75 caliber.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, wow, okay,
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
I can't fucking tell between all of you because, hold on, no, Rob, you said they were very thin. How are they, how is it a large caliber, very thin, large
No, not a thin
weapon?
tube, as in like thin stock going up the thing.
Oh, right.
If you want the visual representation in your head, you know the Tusken Raiders in Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
That's
those
a very
kind of
good
rifles.
representation, actually.
Yeah.
Also, the reason that they were thin is that you could turn them around, because the idea that you shot them once because they're a musket, the idea is that you could turn them around and you would still be able to efficiently break bone with a thin club.
Yep.
Right. Hold on, because right. Let me get my pen out quickly because I need to, because you're all like putting facts on there, and I can't tell whose facts are which ones, and I'm losing track of who said what about the rifle. So you're all kind of generally sticking with the same story for this, aren't you? Right.
It's the gun, and it's not great.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. It's not great because the sad part about them is they're smooth bore.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most
See, that's the
muskets,
thing.
really.
In other words, a firing line of
the
them
Civil War era.
annihilated everything. Like a firing line of them would annihilate a sand dune.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I have lost total track. Figures you're all agreeing on every single thing, so I can't actually find anything to fault anyone on because I don't know anything. I have no data to go on this one.
Is that not the point? I thought that was the point of the game.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? We're supposed to do this to you. We're supposed to. This is the break Zach game.
I'm
right?
pleasantly surprised on how much I know about this because I haven't even because I briefly read. I briefly know about this in school. That was it.
Wait, so it's not your article then? That feels
It might
like a
be.
tell. Oh, you dick! No, do you know what? No, Rob.
I know quite a bit about them because I went to Leeds Armories twice, and they were mentioned as part of the Middle Eastern section.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Look, I grew up. I live in America. That's all I have to say.
Why do I know this?
And you're
thing?
talking
Because
about guns.
America.
Second Amendment, bitch.
It's the only thing I can do. I'm crossing Rob out now because that little comment there, I think, was giving the game away. So, Rob, I don't think it's your article.
Okay.
I mean, I could also tell you that I've actually looked into these a little bit based on the simple fact that my mother works in Dubai.
Oh, so that's how you sort of... And you...
I just found them interesting because basically Spain stole the idea of the gun because the gun just migrated slowly because it was first developed in China anyway. Like, the first gun was Chinese.
Well, I thought the first weapon was Pashtuns. What you Liza was saying earlier was...
No, I said it was
Pashtun
most
tribesmen
popular
wielded
among
these guns. I'm saying the first gun was developed in China.
Yeah,
Or more importantly, the first
South Asia
cannon...
and parts of the Middle East.
Oh, sorry, you're talking guns in general, right?
Yes, and then this then slowly spread across. In other words, the Middle East, where this is from, had guns before, Europe did.
Yep.
Yeah, because the guns you're on about were essentially like made by the Chinese are like little miniature cannons on the stick.
Yes, they were.
Pretty much.
I've just seen
Pretty
a
much.
hydrate, everybody.
Hydrate.
I don't have drink with me. I just got back from a dog walk. Shit.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I'll drink my own piss, it's fine.
Do you know what? Both of you could conceivably know. I feel like... Do you know what it is? Liza, I think it's you. I think that Lewis has just gone off of something he knows in the back of his head and has just had it confirmed by you, and he's just running along with something he already knows about. Liza, is it your article?
No, it's not.
Shit! Hold on. Right, okay. I've crossed both of you off. How do I... Okay. No, actually, the one who gave me the most facts. Lewis.
It's not mine either.
Are you shitting me, Rob? Well, point to Liza for convincing me it was hers. Yeah, fuck.
America.
The facts that they gave off, are those true? Like, did they just know your article? You all knew the same article, right?
Yeah, I actually researched these, but to actually put in a D&D campaign.
I see. Right. That is...
again, Leeds Armories.
Yeah.
There were literally a selection of these on a wall, and it was talking about them in detail. So I'm like,
I am very impressed, but I think for the sake of transparency, I'm gonna have to bring back the old rule from the last time of, if I read out an article, please don't give me the exact same thing. If you already know what this thing is, and it's not your article, please make something else up, because it's very hard to guess when you're all saying the exact same thing.
Okay.
So I need you to pretend that it's something else if you already know what it is, because that was just impossible, where you all clearly just knew this topic so well. And
Thank you, Sunflower.
I didn't put this one to a poll because A, because I was confused, and B, because I
forgot.
Yes, I forgot. I was confused and I forgot, and I will put the next one to a poll. And we'll go on to the next one. And the next one will be... Drumroll, please. It's rolling. Why does it keep rolling?
Hungarian stew.
Cheddar Gorge. This article is Cheddar Gorge. Cheddar is in the cheese. Well, it might not be as in the cheese. It could be anything. Lissa, as you the one with the most points, Lissa, what's Cheddar Gorge?
It's a limestone gorge in Mendip Hills.
Mendip Hills. I believe in things called Mendip Hills. That's a fun little name.
Quick question: we're not actually meant to be looking up these articles, are we? Or...
No.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Okay. Lewis, what's Cheddar Gorge?
It's a gorge in well, I say it's a gorge. Basically, it's a glorified valley.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's one of the most it's famous for specifically cheese rolling.
Cheese rolling?
Yeah, where you chase a wheel of cheese down a hill.
No, I've seen that on the telly before actually. Okay. Rob, what's Cheddar Gorge?
Cheddar Gorge is a gorge in the UK where it's actually famous for two things. One, it's cheese caves where they would actually put the cheese wheels in the cave to actually mature, age them, and also it's actually famous for their scrumpy cider.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to come back to Lewis to get a bit more on this. So cheese rolling, it's a cheese rolling event. Is it like a well publicized event?
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, specifically in the area, like, specifically in the borough, but ultimately it's one of those things where several people will be at the event selling cheese wheels, where people are paying upwards of like £200-300 to get a cheese wheel and then push it down a hill and chase it. And the entire point is you have to try and catch it before it hits the ground because it will shatter when it hits the valley, specifically.
Oh, it'll shatter.
Yeah, and I remember seeing videos of that shit. It's like people just like stacking it down the hills, literally face planting. It's fucking hilarious.
I've got this image you see, I've also got this image in my head. I think I've seen these kind of shows before.
I mean, other people will bring other cheeses. It's super weird because, like, it's called Cheddar Gorge, so ultimately they do weird experiments with it too. Like, I say weird experiments. It's more for fun. You have, like, different ages of cheese because they want to see if they're more dense, so they'll see if they go down faster. And then other people will bring shit like Swiss cheese or, like, an Edam roll one year just to try and see if it'll get down faster because the rubber on the outside... Oh, sorry, the wax on the outside of the cheese will make it roll faster because it's got better grip.
Oh, that does strike me. So, like, to give me an idea of like these kind of events, like this is like a few hundred people. It's famous in the local area. It's the kind of thing you'd see on like local news. Yeah,
yes,
like, that kind of thing. Like a little, on the lighter side on the local news. You'd see it on the local BBC News, type thing. Yeah,
and it's well, I mean, specifically because of it, it's one of those things where like. They make that like fucking dairies make the most money.
I'm guessing as well.
It brings a lot of money in for the like local tourism.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It is a hell of a tourist trap. It's sort of like it's for the cheese mainly. Yeah. But mainly before that, it was actually a tin mine.
Well, also because the limestone, they've got a lot of caves.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. We're moving around, and I need to come to you separately because I'm getting confused again. So I need to get the right. So
you said the word. Sorry, you said a buzzword.
I did. Yeah, I know. So with that limestone for me. Actually, last question, Lewis. Cheddar Gorge, was it called Cheddar Gorge before and they just did that, or is it like a thing that they've renamed, like with that Welsh town that has the world's longest name and they changed it?
No, I believe it's always been called Cheddar Gorge, but to be honest, where it is, they call it Cheddar Gorge.
Oh, I see. One of those places. Ugh. Lizzo.
Yes, it's northern. I'm sorry.
Oh dear. Lizzo. So. Limestone formation in what? I didn't write down the full name of the hills. What's it called?
Mendip.
The Mendip Hills. Mendip Hills doesn't ring a bell to me. So where are the Mendip Hills then? Where is this?
American, damn it! I don't know your geography.
Okay, so it's in the UK then.
It is in the UK.
Right, it's in the UK. So there's a place called Mendip Hills. Lovely. So Mendip Hills. Did it have any info on sort of like? Did it say like a county or an area? Anything nearby it? Just
No,
Mendip
but
Hills, Cheddar Gorge.
one point of interest is apparently it's also the home of the Cheddar Man skeleton. That's where they found it. So the oldest skeleton in the UK that has been found.
Oh,
They've got a prehistory museum because of it.
Fun fact: was not buried in cheese.
Yes.
Oh my days. I
mean, I know the exact location of this place.
But yeah, it's
yeah, well, of course you do. You're trying to pretend it's your article in a moment. So where, oh, you see, Cheddar Man. That is like there are bells ringing in. Like there's Zach's brain right now is going. You know about this thing. This is a thing you've read and you had a hyperfixation on at one point. But I actually can't. I don't know if Cheddar Man was found in Cheddar Gorge. Like, I can't... Oh, in the Mendip Hills. This is interesting. Okay, so Cheddar Man is the oldest skeleton ever found in the UK. It's like the earliest prehistory record type thing. So that's what it's notable for. Anything else it's really known for? Or any sort of, anything else in the article? Or is it a bit of a stub? A bit of a short article?
It's kind of shortish. It does like go into like the ecology of the area.
Yeah, nice.
Because again, it is like caves and the like in the area, and that does bring in a lot of tourism. Because people like to go spelunking. And also, it is a gorge, so it does have a pretty relatively steep.
Yeah, so it's like, a full, like, as opposed to Lewis's, which is like just a bit of a valley that's a bit steep. Like, this is like a.
Oh no, I was saying it's a fuck off valley. You know, valley as in there's cliffs, but they're not like it's like stepped cliffs, so it's still a valley.
Yeah, that's I still I get what you mean. Yeah, glorified. It's
very windy.
Yeah. So. Okay, I've got
Hence,
that.
running down a hill after cheese is fucking scary because you know there'll just be a 10-foot drop somewhere.
Again, it is a. It's like a what is it? Something like 17-18% incline.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh no, it's worth
degree, not percent.
I mean, the cliffs themselves, yeah.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay, so your one, it's about... So you're saying Cheddar Gorge... Where is Cheddar Gorge, then? Where's your Cheddar Gorge?
Cheddar Gorge is actually in a place called Cheddar, funnily enough. And it's in the south. It's in the southwest of the UK.
It's in the southwest UK. Place called Cheddar. That actually is very, very believable. I live in the southwest of the UK, and we have some stupid place names around here.
Near Somerset.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Somerset. There's Oh yeah, I live 4 miles away from Scotland. There's a village that named themselves Scotland down here. So there's loads of signs which says 4 miles to Scotland, and we are very south.
I live half an hour away from Scotland.
The actual Scotland?
Yes. Yeah. The country.
There is also a myth with Cheddar Gorge as well. Is like in the caves themselves where they store the cheese. There's a thing known as the Black Cat. Where with how lighting was done and things like that, and also how the stalactites go over each other, there is actually a visage of a black cat that's actually imprinted on one of the caves. So you look down the actual cave mouth itself, you see the black cat.
Oh, I like that. Points, by the way, for correct pronunciation of geological forms. I like that.
There is another one which is one of the caves is special. I say special, all the caves do it, but one of the caves is this particular tourist trap. It's called Mother Shipton's Cave. And people specifically have like hung fishing rods. No, like laundry lines. And then you hang things from them. So people hang like teddy bears and stuff from them. And the lime scale calcifies teddy bears.
Oh.
So there's like quite literally rock covered teddy bears and trainers and... You know.
Oh, Lewis. Oh dear, Lewis. Lewis,
what?
You've gone into a piece of knowledge that I have, so I'm gonna scrub Lewis off because you're right. That place totally exists in France.
No, it's not in France. It's in the UK.
That happens everywhere. That happens in the US too.
It's not in France.
It's not in France.
No.
So I don't believe you were Cheddar Gorge there. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm scrubbing you off. If I'm wrong, this is going to be spectacular. Of me confidently going, it's not Lewis, definitely not Lewis.
No, it's not like you've never done that twice in the same stream.
Oh, burn.
Ouch! I
Damn.
did, in fairness. That is a very valid point. Okay.
I see you putting your middle finger up at me. I see it.
No, if I want to do it, I'll do it properly.
It's instinct.
It's instinct. Rob, I love this aging, right? Aging the cheese in there, and I like the black cat. I really like the black cat. I like this little legend. Like, this is a tasty little story. I think it's really cool. I tell you who I believe the most, though. I believe in these Mendip Hills. I'm going with Liza. Liza, is this your article?
I just know how to look. I was a Model UN kid. I know how to bullshit when I do a cursory.
Go on. Hazard a guess. Guess who it is. Go on. Go on. Guess who it is.
Is it you, Lewis?
No.
Oh, you bastard! I knew it. I knew it.
They don't do cheese rolling in Cheddar Gorge.
No, it would be too fucking dangerous.
Exactly.
And for reference, Mother Shipton's Cave is in Knaresborough, England.
Is it?
And is England's oldest tourist attraction.
Oh no! No! Hold on, Mother shit. I am looking this up on Wikipedia right now because I am so annoyed.
The only reason why I know this is mine because I've actually been there before, and it's fucking cool. It's claustrophobic as all shit, though.
England's oldest tourist attraction. Fuck a duck.
No thanks.
It is. What is the place in France
Cute
I'm thinking
sunflower.
of? I know. Oh, what's it in France that has the place that's the healing water? I think I might be mixing those two up. Yeah,
There's
the English
a
soothsayer
lot of
and-
places.
right.
As long as there's a hot spring, that's
Cheddar Man also. Where did you get Cheddar Man from, by the way, Liza? Like
that actually is.
Yeah, that is real. That is real.
That's
Yeah.
That,
I would have.
knew I'd
That was
heard
going to be
of
one of my
Cheddar Man.
quotations as well, but Liza beat me to it.
Oh, I see. Liza.
That was
Liza
actually
stole a
found
thing
there.
that was in your article and just was like, yeah. Oh, because I'd heard of Cheddar Man, and I was like, that's why I was going with.
That's why you
because-
honed in on it, didn't you?
Yeah, I honed in on it because A, Mendip Hills sounded awesome, but B,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, I know about Cheddar Man because I remember about the political controversy that came out after they did a reconstruction
in
of the
Cheddar.
in the place called Cheddar. Yeah,
There is. You Google it. There is actually a place called Cheddar, and that is where Cheddar Gorge is.
I'm gonna have like a really quick look now. I want to see Cheddar, like the town. I want to see how far away it is from me, because
You want to go and visit it?
I kind of do. Oh my god, listen.
Yeah, no, I
it
did
is in the
Monument
Mendip
for-
Hills. Yeah, I've looked. It's a
I did
limestone gorge in the
Monument
Mendip
for
Hills.
so many years. I can literally just take piecemeal bits that I see in a cursory
Yeah.
search.
Damn. Yeah, that's not far away from me at all. Actually, that's quite close.
So I want to point out one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If this random generator, because it's done 2 of mine in a row now.
Yeah, it
I
has.
really likes you, Rob.
Yeah, but if the next one is mine and it turns out it's not, and we find out it's not mine, well, I've got one more out, and then I'm pretty much out the game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right. Well, I tend to go for about 4 rounds. This is a short show.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty good. So, 4 rounds.
Jack is a shit show.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yes, it's the show where I explode. Yeah.
That's a different format. That's a different
Yeah,
thing in
very
bio
good,
place, you
yeah.
know.
Oh, yes, Rob is England's oldest tourist attraction. Yeah, it's better. I like that, yeah. Fucking sunflower eviscerated.
Sure, yeah, turn it around, Zach. Turn it around, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to turn it around, otherwise this would just be 2 hours of me just being
Rob that
ripped
lives
to
in
shreds.
what is it? Kettle Shitworth.
Mhm.
Kettle Shipworth. Oh,
You shit in one kettle and, you know,
I know.
yeah, name for yourself.
Have you ever told the full story of that?
Yeah, I've told that when I was interviewing Sammy at one point. I told the full story of that.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I
They
can
do
think
have-
of one that...
I was looking at Rudolph's thing. They do have 6 limbs.
Bloody hell, Sunflower, turning a gaze back on. The moment I try to turn the vicious, immediately comes back on me. I don't know. It must be a magnet for it. Next up, we are going to have a look at when it decides it wants to open. Ooh. Okay. Now, I'm going to redo this because this is something I know really well, and I don't want to run it because I feel like that would just destroy the game. So there's an article here that I just know by heart. I won't say it only just because I don't want to ruin whoever's it was. We'll get back to it at the end. But I'm going to roll it again.
Justin Bieber, isn't it?
You know me so well, darling.
Oh, yeah.
I do not claim the Justin Bieber article.
The anti-tank dog. The anti-tank
Oh, yeah, fucking hell.
dog. Okay.
Yeah, that fucker. My God.
Right. And I'll remind you, if several of you know about this, please don't come up with the exact same thing. Please don't give me the real thing if you also know this. Only give me the real thing if it's your article. Because I'm going to have to try and work out something to do with this. Obviously steal bits from the article, but like, give me some breathing room. Because I feel like with a title like that, it feels almost obvious what that is. But, Rob, anti-tank dog.
If I recall in history, I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was World War One, I believe. One or two. Either way, they basically strapped explosives to dogs to get them to run under tanks and blow up.
Okay, so these are tanks. They strap dogs. Do you know what? You've given me a good summary. I'll loop back to it. Lizard, what's an anti-tank dog?
Yeah, they were basically suicide bomber dogs that the Russians taught to go under German panzers during World War II.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is Russian bullshit here. It's like KGB.
Yeah, it's specifically Soviet.
Oh, it's Soviet, right? So it's a Soviet project. Yeah, of course.
Well,
Russia, World War II. Soviet style project. They trained these dogs to run. And do you know what? I'll ask you more questions in a moment. Yeah. Okay then. Lewis, what's anti-tank dog?
It was a Soviet project, yes. But it was also because of the fact that the Soviets had German spies between the years between World War One and World War Two. The Germans started adopting them too. It was a tried and failed experimental idea because the problem is both sides use their own tanks to train the dogs. So the dogs would turn around and bomb their own tanks.
Train the dog to run under a tank. Train to run under your own. Do you know what, Lewis? We're staying with this because I don't believe they would be that stupid. I mean, it is the Soviets. They did some very, very dumb shit. Wait, so why were they running them? Why were they running under their own tanks? Why were
because the dogs specifically the dogs that they used are Alsatians.
Okay.
Which means that they're not the smartest dogs. They're just very easy to train. And they're very quick to breed. And the Soviets didn't have access to very many German tanks because because German tanks were very blocky. And I don't know if you've ever seen a Soviet tank, but they're very rounded. Dogs who feature off pattern recognition saw the fact that there were these big square things running at them, and they went, no, my treats are under the round tanks. They ran over to them, and the magnetic mines on their back latched onto the tank above it and just detonated it.
So the magnetic mines, how bad were there many anti-tank dogs? Was this like a couple of prototypes?
No, they trained battalions of them.
Oh my god!
And later on, I think it was either the Japanese or the Italians started to try and train dolphins to do the same thing with boats.
And the Japanese attempted too.
That failed way worse.
Oh.
Because dolphins are smart.
Oh, dolphins are, yeah.
They're just like, fuck you ain't putting a bomb on me. Fuck you.
I
Also,
watched
dolphins
this. We
tend to
talked
avoid
about
things
this,
with
guys.
sonars.
Goodbye.
World War II was a fucked up era.
Yeah, they just.
It really was.
I just like the idea that the dolphins leave the bombs and a little note on top which just says thanks for all the fish.
That would be nice.
Yeah. They just like disappears. Like, where the fuck are the dolphins gone? It's just a little note. Yeah.
I was just like, I don't like chihuahuas, but it's a bit excessive.
It's like, yeah, just fuck Alsatian
Look,
so much. I have an Alsatian. He's so cute. Well, actually, he's a husky cross. Right, hold on. I'm derailing myself. Okay, so that's...
Is he thick as
Anti-tank
two
dogs
short
have been
planks?
used in multiple wars too.
Listen, anti-tank dog. You also said it was a Soviet thing.
Yep.
So what is notable? Because obviously his ones are blowing up tanks, right? They're blowing up both. So because he said both sides were using them and blew up each other's tanks. They blew up their own tanks when deployed. What happened with your Soviet dogs that blew themselves up? I assume.
Well, obviously the dogs didn't survive, but I mean, this is humans have a propensity for trying to deploy animals in weird ways. So this was not something that was just a World War II thing. This has also been tried in the Middle East by terrorist groups.
Oh.
So,
okay. So it's also a Middle East thing. Yeah. So this is sort of kicking.
which also, if you think about it, Russia's influence on the Middle East makes sense.
Yeah, so Russia... When did Russia start this, then? So when did Russia sort of deploy these anti-tank dogs? Like, where did they come up with this?
It started in 1941.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they didn't actually have a lot of dog trainers, so they were taking, like, even circus trainers to do this. Police dog trainers. Like, it's really fucked up. It's all kinds of weird, and they definitely were desperate because there weren't a lot of means to get rid of tanks at the time yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. There weren't a lot of means to get rid of a tank.
The
In
Panzers
Russia.
were really, really armored.
Yeah.
And the most vulnerable part of them was under the Panzer.
On the belly, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's... Because I'm going back to the Panzerfaust, which would have been available... Like, I don't know.
The German Panzerfaust.
Yeah. I'm going back
Bearing in mind, I will point out, Russia, at the time, they had, I think it was 1 gun per 100 soldiers.
Yeah.
They were quite literally encouraged to stand near the comrade with a gun, so that when they died, they could pick up the gun.
Yeah, they literally give the other guys like a handful of bullets and just ran them in, yeah.
In the same thing, it turns out that they actually lowered the payload of the bomb dogs because they didn't want to destroy the tanks. They wanted to track the tanks and destroy the drive shafts so they could repair them and use them for themselves.
Okay, right.
It's also one of those cases where, like, I believe as soon as I mentioned Soviets, I remember a lot about this now. It's like it was after the Battle of Stalingrad when they're when the Germans were on the borders of it and they're beginning the pushback. And that is when they were getting desperate, hence with all like the 1 rifle per 100 men, all hands full of bullets and things like that. I mean, literally, they would literally get the droves of men to go to the tanks and literally Molotov them.
Okay.
So they were desperate at the time.
Yeah.
The only people who would run at a machine gun line until the gun jammed and keep going.
Yeah. And if they ran back, they got the commissar to shoot them in the face.
So you weren't sure which war your ones, Rob, were from. You said World War I and World War II, and your ones also World War II dogs as well. Right. So what else? What else was on your article as well? What did you sort of read about them that hasn't already been said?
Well, there's the fact that animals were actually used quite a lot throughout these wars. It's like in Bavaria as well, in the Alps and things like that. That's where actually, what's it called? I forgot the breed. It's like the Beethoven dogs.
Yeah.
To actually dig up and retrieve people out of avalanches and things like that.
Okay. Right. Nice.
Shit, I know
like
what.
that. In that
I know
case,
what breed you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now I can't.
I am trying to get... Oh, come on. Twitch does not like me. Because I'm going to put up the next poll. And this poll, because I keep forgetting to do this for each one.
St. Bernard's.
That's the one. The big, massive things. I mean, good sir, it is very rude of you to stretch out that bear's tail and call it a dog.
So,
Clearly, you've never seen a Tibetan Mastiff.
Oh, yeah.
there's a
You've never met a
poll-
Laplander, have you?
There is a poll going at the moment. Chuck your votes in now. Who do you believe? Which one of them is telling the truth, and which ones do you think are lying? I must admit, this is another one where I'm really struggling to tell the difference. I can't figure out anything here. And I don't know which way I'm going to lie. I'm going to leave the poll to go for a second.
I take it we're not allowed to vote.
I mean, yeah, you can vote in the poll because I don't look at who's voted with what.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the poll to finish, but I don't look at the result of the poll. I make my mind up independently of that poll.
Ah, okay.
So the poll isn't there to guide me. The poll is there. The poll is there for the audience because then we get to see who was right at the end, where we get to look at who answered what and who actually won out on the poll, who I guessed, and then we obviously find out who was telling the truth.
So are you specifically going to guess someone who isn't the poll picked, or are you going to do this?
The poll isn't open for me. I've created the poll, but I can't see it.
So once you
okay.
decide, then you go look at the poll just to see.
I look at the poll, yeah. I've set it on a 2-minute timer, so I'm waiting for the 2-minute timer. I can see the scrolling bar, but I can't see the results of the poll. So
I understand.
I will only look at it after I've made my mind up and I choose someone. I reckon the poll's going to close up any second now, so I'm going to...
It's got about another 30 seconds on it.
Okay. But yeah, I'm liking. I mean, the Bavarian dogs. I remember very well, and I don't know about the dolphins though. I've never heard of that one, and I'm actually really struggling to make my mind up because there's lots of stuff that you guys clearly know about some things here, and you've backed each other up so well that I am struggling to pass the different facts of what you guys had. And so I'm going to go with... There you go, poll's over. Liza gave me lots of facts. I liked that. It's nice and detailed. I'm going to go over that because, again, I feel like, Liza, you're pulling like your general knowledge here. I don't think that this was your article. The one I'm going to go for is Lewis. You gave me a whole bunch of facts there, which I really believe, and I'm like... Not only do I believe, but I believe that you've read them on the article where you've gone and looked up this article ahead of time. And it sounds like it was specific enough where I think it's yours. Lewis, is it yours? Am I right?
Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah!
It is mine.
That is a point to Lewis and a point to me too. We both get a point. Hey!
I love how the chat thought it was me.
So, just to clarify, it's so difficult when you know that. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I feigned ignorance on the Soviets bit, because I didn't want to pull out that bit. This is where I'm getting confused with this.
Yeah,
it's why I had
really
to pull out things like Alsatians, and yeah, I specifically watched a documentary on these as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought this would be fun to bring across because ultimately it's so outlandish.
Mm-hmm.
And the other reason that I never really got a chance to say is they used dogs and they trained them for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because the idea of running a 6-month-old dog at German lines, the Germans would go, "That's a cute puppy."
Oh my god,
and the thing is, they were actually mostly training German shepherds too.
Oh yeah, that's an Alsatian.
So the one thing though that confuses me, though, I thought it was actually they specifically did it for the German Tiger tanks.
No, it was Panzers.
It was Panzers, okay.
It was Panzers.
Because the Tiger tanks, they're fucking massive things. So
yeah,
they would.
But the Germans, the Russians didn't have a tank big enough to demonstrate it on.
Yeah,
because the other thing they tried to demonstrate it on was a train.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, no, yeah.
I can imagine that.
You can imagine how that went.
Yeah, very splattered dog and a ripped apart mine.
The other fun thing about them is that actually the harness that they had, it was supposed to release with the dog pulling a cord that the dog was trained to pull because it was supposed to be a timed or a remote controlled mine.
Oh, I see.
However, they weren't very, very common. and actually having reliable timers and stuff, and the simple fact that the way that a dog runs puts a lot of strain on its back.
Yeah.
So the mine was more likely to just go off. You literally had dogs blow up before they even got to a tank.
Yeah, because there wasn't interference because like the radios in tanks like very simple, and there wasn't a lot of there wasn't actually a lot of radio channels at that time, so it sort of failed that. Yeah.
Oh, that is wild. Oh, I love this so much. This is delightful. So
no, seriously, they have tried using this even in the Middle East. They specifically like donkeys.
Yeah. So
suicide donkeys.
Oh, God. The downside with donkeys is they decided to stick sticks of C4 up their rectums.
Lovely. We're going to take a quick break simply because I need more coffee. Jesus Christ. And also I need more paper. I'm running out of space in this notebook and I need more paper to take notes. So it's literally going to be a 2-minute break, guys. Don't worry. We'll see you in just a second.
All right.
And we're live. There you go. That happened quick.
Where was the counting, Zach?
I didn't mean for it to go
Hi.
immediately live. It just dumped like that.
Hello there.
Hello there, everybody. Oh,
You know, when
lovely.
you do the thing with the fingers and then you
Yeah.
forget to do the last, like, you forget to say the last two.
Yeah, I know. Do I do that every time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
4, 3, and we're live.
Oh, is that? I didn't realize I do that every
You do-
time. I've
Yeah.
noticed that I've
You
done
do
it
that
before.
every time.
Kind of makes
Every single time.
it kind of makes missing out the next two numbers, the last two numbers, a bit superfluous, doesn't it? So, and we're live.
Yes. So,
Next article.
Next article.
7, 6, 5, we're live. Wait, what?
I will do that next time, fuckers. I will
On your
just
marks,
do it out.
get set, start my
Go!
deck.
So, let's do the roll.
On your marks, get
And
set, bake.
we are rolling for the next article for you guys to bullshit, and we have... There's a definite theme going with these.
History.
History, but also we've got Bangalore Torpedo.
Oh,
Oh,
Bangalore
Okay.
Torpedo.
okay.
So-
Really likes history. This.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think all of you. Well, I think all of us actually are quite big history nerds,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, actually, to be honest, there's a load of directions that could go. That could be literal, or that could be something weird and prosaic. I know. Do you know what? Rob.
Yes.
Quick summary. What is the Bangalore Torpedo?
The Bangalore Torpedo is specifically designed to get rid of entrenched barricades. So, for instance, barbed wire, tank traps, and things like that.
Right. So it's like before a maritime landing, you'd fire it off to try and clear the beach out.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually a long tube.
Oh, it's a land-based weapon, is it?
Yeah, you literally, as infantry base, you will literally push it under the encampment, and they will blow up the encampment. Sorry, not encampment, fucking barricade. That's it.
Yeah, barricade. Yeah. Oh, I see. So it's like Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll loop back. We'll go into great detail. Lewis, Bangalore Torpedo.
Very specifically, it's one of the first ideas to combine torpedoes and HESH rounds from anti-tank shells.
Oh.
So
I
what it would
see.
do is you would launch this, specifically employed by the British in, I think it was the Indian Ocean. They tested them, and they would launch them at these ships. And what it would do is it would have a gunpowder charge behind a very soft metal head. And what that would do is it would project the soft metal head, and it would spread out with a great deal of force on the side of a ship.
Yeah.
And inside the ship, all of the bolts and all of the rivets that held the ship together would launch off and just become. It would weaponize the ship against the people inside, and therefore you could salvage the ship afterwards.
Oh, it's basically like buckshot. It's basically an underwater shotgun round.
Yes,
Yeah.
but think about it in the same sense that if I punched you and your bones ricocheted into your organs,
Oh,
except apply it to a vehicle.
brutal. So, yeah. So maritime weapon. When did the British test this?
It was 1912.
1912. Right. So this is pre-World War One kind of deal. Yeah. Nice. Was it ever used? Was it just like a prototype, or did this actually go into service?
It never got used because it wound up being too expensive to make because the heads were solid copper.
Oh, yeah. No, you kind of need copper for other things in war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we've started using them now in actual tank shells.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know, it was tested as a
Heat
torpedo
shells.
weapon.
Yeah, it's the heat shells. Yeah.
That's that's the developmental way of it, because ultimately they realized that because they tried it, you couldn't use it on like a howitzer. So they realized that in the same way that you had armor piercing shells on tanks that were more direct and more line of sight based, they would just, instead of completely destroying the tank, you could weaponize it inside and maybe blow up the magazine if you were lucky.
Oh yeah, this is it.
In the same way that if you do
early-
it on a ship, it's way easier to do it on against the ship.
Yeah, this kind of like the infancy of the bunker buster. Same kind of
Yes,
principles. Yeah,
but they
this
tested
is-
it at sea
yeah.
because it was more available to do.
Yeah, nice. So we've got Rob's anti-fortification weapon, taking out these land-based fortifications. Who made them, by the way? Who developed them?
The British.
No, sorry, I'm asking Rob.
Oh.
Who developed these weapons to destroy barricades? Like, what country did this? What company?
It was the British in World War II.
Oh, World War II. So this would be like 1930s, 1940s era. Yeah. So this is a World War II one. And actually, quick question, Rob: was that ever like actually deployed and used?
It was deployed, funnily enough, on D-Day.
Oh, so this is a D-Day weapon. Excellent.
It was also
Nice.
used against booby traps.
So,
particular.
Liza, I've
Hi.
gone through. I've interrogated their articles. What's Bangalore torpedo?
As I was just saying, it was used against booby traps like mines and the things like
Okay.
that. It was made specifically with the combat engineer in mind because things like razor wire, the other option was to take a lot of time to take cutters to it. And yeah, that takes a lot of time.
Mm.
It's more efficient.
Okie dokie. So yeah, so this one is combat engineers removing this. When was this then? For your when was this torpedo developed?
It was originally developed prior to World War II, but it was put into use in World War II to great effect.
Nice. Who by? Was this British again?
It was British.
Yeah, British, right. So, British
It'd be
military.
kind of stupid if it wasn't. I mean, do you know how genius we are?
I'm sorry, but we come up with some bullshit. Like, I've seen some... Like,
Yes.
Pikecrete. I'm sorry, but the country that came up with Pikecrete aircraft
Yeah.
carriers is, like, that was bullshit. That was ridiculous. I loved it. Great. But yeah.
I know-
we come up with
I know
some
that-
nonsense.
Oh, sorry, I'll wait till my turn, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So, yeah, Liza, so World War II was developed beforehand for taking out things like booby traps, combat engineering mind. What theatres was this used in during the war? So, like, was there a particular theatre? Was this a European theatre, or was this more sort of like...
European.
So it's the European theatre this kind of stuff's used in. Lovely.
Like, it's gotten used outside of that because it was actually... it was still being made until something like 2015 or so.
Oh, really? So
So
this
it
is a
was
weapon
still being used.
Yeah. Okay, it's up until 2015. That's interesting because I know that happens with quite a few things, like the M2 Browning. That's still in perfect active use, and that's been here for yonks.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, this is interesting. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, hold on, Liza, why was it called the Bangalore torpedo then?
Article didn't get into that.
Oh, did it not? So it didn't really specify where the Bangalore part of that came from. So, moment of appreciation that as I'm writing all of these notes on my paper, that I'm using my Warhammer 40k Beast Boys for the orcs to lean on. Okay, we're gonna put the poll up because I've got lots of thoughts, and we're gonna see what people think. Hold on, let's just get that going.
It actually got me wondering, why was it called?
Yeah, it's funny that because I'm thinking that.
Why was it called a torpedo?
Yeah, like why the Bangalore torpedo, and especially like actually you've just said that now, Lewis, and I'm now thinking both of yours are land based, and why would they call something land?
I'm being called. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Because the act of a torpedo doesn't necessarily mean aquatic. A torpedo...
Technically, a torpedo is like subsurface.
Yes, so it's so for instance, it would be jammed under a from my aspect, it would be jammed under the of the fortifications themselves, and then it would implode up.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna put that poll going now.
It's basically explosive
Private.
on the stick. I mean, I think
So-
the Japanese even came up with something as well, where
But the
they would use
thing-
a kamikazes to have a
Yeah.
grenade shell on the stick and run it at
Yeah.
tanks.
Yeah, I can visualize it. Yeah, I see what you mean by that. Yeah, so it's
the thing I
torpedoing-
don't understand though
Mm.
is ultimately satchel charges and things like that have been used since World War One.
Mhm.
Like quite literally, just having bundles and bundles of explosives, and they would throw them both at fortifications and into barbed wire and still blow them apart just as effectively.
Because of that, it was in when it was in D-Day, they would actually be under the actual encampment. Sorry, not the encampment, the barricades under the actual bastions where the machine gunners were. So it was hard to actually get an accurate throw. Whereas with satchel charges and things like that, they would actually have an aspect of a good line of sight to where to throw it, where the best place to throw it. This was more reliable in situations when it comes under heavy fire.
Oh, I'm liking this. Yeah, I can sort of see where that idea comes from as well. It's like the idea of you can throw a shit ton of explosives up there and you can shell it to hell, but if you really need to get part of it, like especially on D-Day where you needed to get specific parts out the way, that it's essentially it's this thing they're sliding in to take out a specific part. Yeah, that I can sort of see where that's coming from. Hold on, I'm just writing more notes. Hold on.
Come on, doggies. Come here. Frank.
There's cute
here.
doggos.
Come here, Frank.
Cute doggies.
Frank. Frank, what are you doing? Come here.
That's so cute. That's cute.
There he is. There he is. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I love a cute dog. We're gonna take a break from the nerd shit to look at the cute dog.
Yeah, wait for Leslie to come back.
Yeah, that's all right. So, I think I'm gonna start with.
Oh.
Actually, one more thing about this naval weapon. Actually, while this thing's running, I'm gonna say this naval weapon is interesting to me, but.
Mhm.
So the reason they can't do it, obviously, copper. It's First World War. Like, what I'm struggling to sort of envision here is you're saying it's turning. The idea is basically the force of the impact is supposed to blow the internal rivets out. So there's no.
It's not just the internal rivets. It's quite literally anything on the inside is subject to a massive amount of heat and a massive amount of pressure. So therefore, especially subsurface.
Yeah.
The whole point is that you can basically blow out any sort of interior bulkhead as well. So you're not necessarily destroying the outside so that the ship isn't going to sink. The whole point of it is that you could potentially board and capture said ship.
Yeah,
it was
like
essentially, it was less
barrack,
about,
it
was less about destroying a ship so that there was no survivors and more about making the morale of the people on board either so low because they're having to wade through other people's insides or destroy key areas in a boat that essentially they would have to surrender.
Yeah.
Because everything important is under the water. So imagine sending a bunch of rivets into a sealed engine unit. And the fact that the armor outside of an engine unit is so thick that inside it basically just becomes a ricochet chamber.
Yeah.
So if you could hit the engine and compress it enough that it would just cause that impact inside, you kill all transmission.
Ooh, yeah, no, I can see that. That's fascinating. Well, this is going to be our last article, and I must say I'm liking these different weapons here. I like as well we've got a nice steady theme. All three of these roles have all come out with nice weapons based. Well, except Cheddar Gorge. Cheddar Gorge wasn't, but the rest of it was. We've had some good weapons here, and I do like a good weapon. We've had the anti-tank dog. We've had this massive like Tusken Raider rifle, and now we've got... Oh dear!
I don't know why. When I hear the Tusken Raider going, I could just I just expect them, at least one of them, to go, oh yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's like a. It's when you get one of them that like all of a sudden isn't on a good. Like I imagine a Tusken Raider with a sore throat. It's just like, ah.
Yeah, just like give him a lozenge or something like that.
Oh my god. Oh dear. Giving human names to... I've just seen Sunflower's comment and I'm just like, yeah, human names to dogs are very cute. Like
animals in general.
My dog's called Otto. And it's great. He's literally named after Bismarck. and is the best.
Oh god! All at the same time, though, all you have to do is like giving human names to animals is the weirdest thing ever because it's like, yeah, I have to give Frank his medication rectally.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of those moments where just out of context it can be hilarious.
I mean, it's better than Chonko and fuck ass. So
yeah,
these are my babies, Chonko and fuck ass, and I love them more than life itself. Oh my god,
I love fuck ass.
I know you do, Rob. Well, no, you don't, and that's the problem. I wish you did.
Sorry.
Yes, you should be sorry, denying me of my best fantasies. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Jesus, that just fell out of my mouth. Yeah, we've been going over Rob's one. Liza, I like your one as well. I like it that it's also European theatre. I'm gonna strike Liza out. I'm gonna say it's not Liza's article. And the only reason I'm gonna say it's not Liza's is I completely believe that there are plenty of World War II era weapons that got used up to right now. The idea of the Bangalore torpedo being this anti-fortification weapon which was still useful up until 2015, like it's not like I'm not like flamboyantly striking you out. It's more that's the best thing I can go with where I'm like, it's giving me enough doubt. So I'm gonna put that one aside. Rob.
Yes.
I do like yours. I can see the specific thing. The only reason I'm not going for yours, Rob,
is because of the name Torpedo.
Yeah, like Bangalore torpedo, that doesn't track in my brain. Like, I feel like that makes, like, I can see why something prosaic like that
It is
happen.
torpedo does mean subsurface.
Yeah, you are right there. It just, part of me thinks that a military would probably end up leaning on the side of, like, let's not confuse things. We use torpedoes navally. Let's try and keep a delineation between the two type thing. I could be wrong on that one. I'm not confident in
Humans aren't smart enough to figure out torpedoes are just boats.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lewis. Lewis, am I right? Is it your article?
Nope.
Bollocks. Okay, I wasn't sure, but like it's the idea of this buckshot thermobaric weapon where I was like, I could see the mechanics of that the most.
Fun fact, the shock effect that I was talking about happens with every single torpedo that ever came into existence ever.
Oh, you sly little fucker.
I simply combined the idea of Hesh rounds with the fact that torpedoes exist.
Yeah, you made a Hesh torpedo. Yep. That was clever. You knew enough there to sort of pull the wool over my eyes there. You completely had me going with you. Rob, is it yours? Did I pick
It is mine.
Yeah!
It's Rob's third article.
Yeah.
In a row! Jeez!
Not in a row, you got mine.
I got yours once. Rob, it's your article again.
So, just to clarify, Zach, have you ever seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Exactly. So you know when they get to the barricades with the barbed wire is, those long tubes they put under?
That's a Bangalore torpedo, is it?
Yeah, that's a Bangalore torpedo.
I love it. Yeah, like I didn't dismiss yours quite so. Like I wasn't doing a big like.
It was the torpedo thing, wasn't it?
It was the torpedo.
I was confused at that when I looked up the article myself.
The fact is, most people don't call them Bangalore torpedoes. They're just called Bangalores.
Yeah. I just gave the full name. So
yeah. But that's the correct thing because you need to give me the article name, obviously being Bangalore torpedo, the proper name. Yeah. There's just the word torpedo was rattling in my head, and I'm going like, yeah, the naming convention. It didn't. Oh, that is.
As soon as you put picking up on torpedo, I knew I was fucked.
Ultimately, what happened is you said what a Bangalore torpedo was. I was like, I know what this is, but at the same time, if I have to say that if I have to be truthful, if it's my thing, I'm going to talk about it being a torpedo.
Yeah, I can see. I thought this was the reverse. I thought it was your article and you were talking of torpedo, and I don't know why, but my brain was going like, I can't remember who I went to first. I just thought like
the other two are both lying together to make it seem like it can't be mine.
Basically, yeah.
Well, It's like when you pointed it out to me as well. It's sort of like, hang on, but because there's a torpedo aspect, I was like, how does that? Why wouldn't they just use satchel charges and things like that?
I did that specifically.
I did stutter on that because that kind of caught me off guard. But what I was saying was actually truthful as well.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, they did use satchel charges in the same way that most of the time they would just get to the bottom of a bunker and huck a grenade in.
Oh yeah, but it's more. But the satchel charges are more likely used for because of the amount of munition going into it. They're required for larger, like bridges and things like that.
Yes.
With Bangalore's, there's like smaller fortifications, like when I specifically said tank traps and barbed wire and shit.
Yeah.
It's just really nasty when you put them in the tiny tube that a machine gun nest has, or like a sniper point. Just like
look at the poll because I want to see who people ended up going with. It's funny because one person did go Rob, but the majority went for Lizza again. People believe Liz. People believe in Lizza. Lizza wins well in these polls. Which I do quite like. That
no one ever believes the himbo.
No one believes the himbo. But yeah, I picked your article 3 times. I can't believe how I did that.
You
That's
picked
brilliant.
Rob's article 3 times and Rob got no points for it.
I know.
So does that mean I'm on 2, Liz is on 2, and you got 1?
Yeah. So
we only have 4 rounds, haven't we?
Yeah, that's how many we do for a game. Yeah, that's the game, guys.
If Zach guesses the right person, then that person gets a point and Zach gets a point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get a point if you convince me regardless, but I also get a point if you convince me and it is yours.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking up why it was called a Bangalore torpedo, and Google
because it was a subsurface grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Torpedo does mean that subsurface.
But the Bangalore part is what's getting me.
Yeah.
They used to just call them Bangalores. And the reason it's called a Bangalore is because British people can't name shit.
It's like there was that one thing as well. Oh god, the British when they
it goes bang and it does it galore.
The original. Do you know what the original design for that was? It was nowhere near an actual torpedo tube. It was actually, I can't remember for the life of me what it was called, but it was actually like those massive spools that have like long lines of cable on them to
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was originally one of those.
Oh.
That would be deployed first ahead of the troops, and it would actually have rockets go to propel it forwards.
Oh,
and
to
when
spin it round.
Yeah, spins it round, and
they
tested it. They tested it in Cornwall.
No,
but
they didn't
Zach,
test it in Cornwall.
They were actually manufacturing them until 2017.
Were they?
By the way,
that is actually interesting that they kept going until 2017. You know the spinning
by the
ones you're
Mondial
talking about?
Defence Systems of Poole, UK.
Yes, because I was going to say they didn't test them in Cornwall. I live in Poole. They tested them here. The spinning ones with the rockets, we have a monument like a few miles from my home because a bunch of soldiers got killed by it. The spinning rocket version blew up a bunch of soldiers, and there's a memorial to them to this day. And I go down there because that's where we have our Remembrance Sunday, kind of like the our version of Memorial Day in America, and that's where we go down to commemorate. Wow, that was cool. That was very cool. I nearly got a job with them as well, actually, locally, because they're now BAE, I think, or someone else. But yeah, I nearly got a job with them because they got a defense contractor here. It's cool. So, at the end of that, I get 1 point. Lizza gets 2 points, and so does Lewis. So, because
you didn't actually pull up any of my articles.
Yeah, you just.
It was the Darwin one. Darwin one was yours, wasn't it?
No, it was mine.
No.
Oh.
I did Pokemon, Jediism, and the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Oh, you did Pokemon. That's way too general.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I pulled out Batman.
I did the Darwin Awards, Lady Gaga, and anti-tank dogs. And the only reason I picked Lady Gaga is because I kind of learned a lot about Lady Gaga because it's like an idol of Victoria's.
Oh, I see. So you just wanted to go in on like all these
like quite literally, I don't know if you've ever paid attention, but on the shelf behind Victoria, there is an autobiography of Lady Gaga at the top of the shelf.
Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing. Well, yeah, that was fucking awesome. Very much love that. It was invented in Bangalore. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was British engineers in Bangalore, India.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was awesome. I had a great time. Don't know about you. Although I lost. And the joint victory goes to Lizza and Lewis. Congratulations. we are coming back again next week for episode 3. We had a week gap, and we are, well, the cast for that one, we may have some reoccurring characters from, well, either of our first 2 episodes, and a few new faces, hopefully.
So does that mean me and Lissa get extra inspiration? Is that just...
No.
Hey.
No. You got too much in that
No,
game. Where
I'm
you're
not
overpowered,
opposed to
Bill,
this.
motherfucker.
I know. I have 8. I'm not going to complain. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've got 3.
So everybody, it was very fun. We shall see you. We'll see you next Tuesday for Windermere Falls. We will see you. There isn't any Waking Dungeons until next Saturday. So
This
we'll
Saturday.
see you Tuesday, and then we'll see you on
It's
Wednesday.
this Saturday.
Oh, do we have Waking Dungeons this Saturday?
I believe so.
Oh shit, that's not great.
Oh,
one
more thing. Well, 2 more things.
Sorry, go on.
Geeky Clean.
Yes, we are sponsored by Geeky Clean. Please go and have a look at the Geeky Clean people, because they give us money. That's good. When you buy stuff from them, they give us money too. So you can help out. You get 10% off. We get some money too. Everyone wins.
And 2, thanks to Slytherin, I just lost the game.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You. I wasn't looking at chat.
I have not lost the game for months. I'm annoyed. I was on quite the streak.
I haven't lost a game since
Never
before
gonna
COVID.
give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never
Eat a
gonna
dick, Lisa.
run around and desert you. We gotta hydrate, but
We gotta hydrate as we go.
Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye.
And that is
except
the
we
main
are
thing.
saying goodbye because it's the
Yeah,
end
we
of the
are.
stream.
Bye.
Bye.